Hello, my name is Edward. I'm going to show you today how to use some of the payroll features in Law Practice. The payroll section in Law Practice is fairly new, and we've got a lot of improvements planned. But I'll show you what we do have so far. The first thing to do, I've logged in here into a test database called Orange Legal. And the test database, if I click on staff, has one staff member already called Fred Adams. But let's add a new staff member to show you how that's done. Right, the staff code is a way of uniquely identifying the staff member. For most small companies, you just identify them by their name. But you might want to call them staff number 1 or something like that. And let's say this is Susan Adams. It's Fred's sister. And you can enter in the address and the tax number, email address. The email address is used if you want to send them a PDF payslip, but you can also leave it blank if you're going to rather print that out and give it to them personally. Some of the fields are required, like position. Let's say this person is a zookeeper. Most of these fields are just here so that they can be printed on the payslip. Date joined is important to know because they you need to record the date joined and the date terminated always. So I'm saying that Susan joined us from the 1st of April. I'm going to leave date terminated blank because she's still working for us. And most of these fields are optional. As I say, they just appear on the payslip. The frequency this is used will be used for future automation. Currently, it's not being used. The annual leave entitlement is useful to record. Let's say this person gets 25 days leave per year, and you just have to allocate it to some other department. I'm just going to say default. Here you can put particulars of employment, if there's special things you want to add to the PDF that goes to them, etc. I'm going to leave the rest of these fields blank. Right, we've added Susan Adams to our staff list, and there she is, with a staff code of 1. Now it's time to create a payslip. So I'm going to go to payslips and click add. And let's say we're going to add a payslip for the month of April. So we enter the start of the period, which would be the 1st of April, and then the first day not in the period, which would be the 1st of May. Now the start and stop periods are not really used, they're just for record keeping. The date, on the other hand, is important because the date of the payslip will be the month in which the pay-as-you-earn and the UIF get allocated to. So I'm adding this for Susan. Here you can enter individual line items. So if Susan, for example, worked only a few days a week or in shifts or something like that, then you can add additional line items and the number of hours worked and all that. But in this case, I'm just going to say that you can put in any date in the period, that she works just normal hours, 1 times salary, and let's say at a rate of 10,000 Rand. Now, the basic pay then has been calculated to 10,000 Rand. Now we need to calculate the pay as you earn. We've put a link here to the government's, to SARS's tax tables, but they're very confusing to use. So what I do is I use somebody else's calculator, Tim Tax calculator, pay as you earn. And free tax, yeah, this is the one I use. So I don't know who Tim Tax is, but you're welcome. So entering in 10,000 Rand, let's say she's 35. I haven't entered the other province and travel allowances stuff, but you can enter them in there. And he's happily worked out for us that it is 553 Rand and 50 cents. So we enter that into the pay as you earn field. As I said, there's lots of room for future automation. The UIF is always 1% of the basic pay up to a maximum of 148 Rand 72 cents. So in this case, 1% would just be 100 Rand. Skills development levy is only applicable for companies that do more than 500,000 Rand of employer pay. The employer pays more than 5,000 Rand a year, so we can put that as 0. Deductions are if you need to deduct pay for whatever reason. We don't in this case. Loans, this is a useful feature if your staff member has borrowed money. Let's say Susan does want to borrow 500 Rand, then we put a minus 500 Rand in there. So we give her an extra 500 Rand. So the payout is now 984,650. This is what we should pay by EFT. We're paying in rands. The staff entitlement. So this is for this period. How many days leave has Susan earned? I think I said earlier that she was getting 25 days a year. So let's just take 25 divided by 12, because we're doing it for 1 month. So she needs to earn 2.08333333 days for this period. And we'll just call the narration salary or something like that. Right, we've added a payslip. Oh, I can't add dates into the future. So what I've done is I've said, I've put the date as the 25th of May. It should have been the 25th of April. And let's click OK. There we go. It has saved the payslip. And now we can look at the payslips over here. Oh, that's where I am, sorry. So here we can look at Susan's payslip. And this is the detail view. We can look at the PDF, which will appear here. Right, this will have your own company's logo at the top. Here it's got the various line items. We've just got the one line item. It's put the position in. It's put the employer's contribution for blah, 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 blah. You can look at that. If you click email, this will email it to the staff member. Now there's some more things we can do. If you go to, well, we can pay the staff member, but let's have a look at the staff member's statement. So if I go to the members, I can, under Susan Adams, I can look at the statement for Susan. So far, there's only one item where we've worked out that we owe her 9,846 Rand 50, but there's no payment has been made yet. So this is now the amount still due. We can make a staff payment under staff payments. You could also create staff payments from Bank Reconciliation directly from the bank statements if you had it, but you can also add them here and match to the bank statement later. Right, so the date, let's say we pay her on the same day. Susan, payment narration, you can say something, thank you. And the amount we're going to pay is 98, I can't remember the detail, let's just give her 99, be on the safe side. And I'm going to pay her from the Evil Bank. Okay, so now that is a pay slip. If I go back to the report for her, I can see that the statement has now got I've overpaid by 53.50 because I couldn't remember the amount. So that will be on the statement. There's a report. We can look at the report. So here's the report for the 4th month of 2020. We've got a total amount of 10,000 Rand basic pay. It's got the breakdown here for pay as you earn UIF. The total going to SARS. This is what you will type in on your EMP 201s. And you can also see an overview of how much you owe everybody and what loans they have. So here I can see that Susan has got a staff loan of 500 Rand. Remember, I loaned her 500 Rand, but I owe her 53. No, she owes me 53. So that's why they're both positive. So what was the other report? Oh yes, the PDF report is a nice report that you can give to the accountant at the end of the 6-month period. It's nice for the EMP 501s. Let's just say we're going to do a report, a PDF report for this period, and this then gives a nice PDF summary. You can see Fred received a payment of 10,000 Rand in March, and Susan received a payslip, in April. Down here, it will also give a list of the staff members and their ID numbers and addresses and bank details for reference, so you should fill those in. And that is the quick overview. Very quick. What have I left out? Oh, yes. Leave entitlement. Remember we said that Susan we gave her some leave, but let's say she wants to take that leave now. Then we click here on leave. See, there's been no leave taken, but she has earned the 2 days, 0.08 days. So let's say she wants to take 1 day off tomorrow. So we can then enter in 05, or let's say it was today, 22/05/22. Here you have to enter the number of working days. We can't really calculate it because we don't really know which holidays your company is observing, etc. So this is then paid leave. The reason is pet problems. She's a zookeeper after all. And here you can attach a document like a sick note or something. I will attach a picture of a llama lying down. And that then gets saved onto her leave record. So now she only has 1 day, 1.08 days remaining. The leave stuff you can add and delete. It's not, can't reverse it, or you can just go back and edit it. It's just for, it's like a calculator for calculating the leave entitlements. I think I've covered pretty much everything regarding payroll. Sure. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.